and pops up in a lot of different ways, but the issue at hand is that as soon as I suggested that to Martha, she immediately thought of the theme "Life is a Highway." There's a connection here, and I'm going to, as the lawyers say, I'll show relevance. But maybe you see it already. If you've seen the Disney Pixar movie Cars, then I don't need to tell you that the plot of that movie is basically the story of this next song, "Laid a Highway" by Tift Merritt. So we're in a thriving town where people look after each other, where you can eat dinner with any family you like. Everyone works at the mill until one day they don't, for reasons that'll be made clear in the lyrics. And then, just as in the movie, they build a highway a few miles away, next town over. And everybody drives by on the new highway, and nobody stops at the mill town anymore. And the town starts to die. And in this telling of the tale, there's no fancy racing car to accidentally stop by and realize what's happening and revitalize the town. So this song is sadness and longing and reflecting on times that have gone by that aren't coming back. So how do we cope with that? What do we do when things seem to be on a steady decline with no bottom in sight? How does our faith sustain us? This is Tift Merritt's "Laid a Highway."
This was a town took care of its own. That's what me and my children have known. Worked the mill the way my parents did. I remember this town when I was a kid, sitting through the movies twice, open windows late at night, slipping out in the summer heat to meet John Miller in the middle of the street. They laid a highway a few years back, next town over by the railroad track. Some nights I'm glad it passed us by. Some nights I sit and watch my hometown die. I'm 55, and when the mill burned down, there wasn't much past a pretty young gal. The boss lit a match in the early night. Cops never had enough to get it right. So while the company traded with our lives, we were busy watching the slow moon rise, dancing on the high grass ridge, making love down by the Cedar County Bridge. They laid a highway a few years back, next town over by the railroad track. Some nights I'm glad it passed us by. Some nights I sit and watch my hometown die. Never came to tear that old place down. They roped it off, but you can walk around. See the dust on the rusted doors. Watch the rain fall through the burned out floors. This was a town took care of its own. This was a town doing fine all alone. Mill got out at a quarter to 5. You could eat supper with any family you liked. They laid a highway a few years back, next town over by the railroad track. Some nights I'm glad it passed us by. Some nights I sit and watch this mill town die. Die. Die.
you. All right, next up, Angel from Montgomery, a classic song from the brilliant pen of John Prine, covered by dozens of artists. What has this song got to do with our theme tonight? Well, it struck me as I listened to it one day that if life is indeed a highway, then this song really kind of represents the end of the road. An old woman reflects on her life. It used to be exciting, full of passion. But now, the most interesting thing that happens in the average day is that a bunch of flies get into the kitchen. Her marriage is uninteresting. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? She longs to be young again, to be exciting, to be a poster from an old rodeo. It's a beautiful evocation of sadness and boredom, and I don't think there's another song like it. We're no longer on the downward spiral of the last song. We're at rock bottom. Where do we go from here? I suppose there are only two options. Now there's something to reflect on.
I was thinking about this song, and I guess one of the reasons why the road metaphor is so powerful is because it gets right to the heart of the human condition. We are beings who know that our time is finite. We know that there is a beginning and an end to the journey. We carry the pain and heartbreak of understanding that life doesn't always take us where we're expecting, and that we have to come to terms with the reality of death. It's also up to us to make meaning of the road we end up taking from A to Z. And also, isn't there something so stirring and powerful about being able to tell our saddest stories and express our loneliest of truths? Some of the lyrics in this song: if dreams were thunder and lightning was desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. How beautiful is that? Isn't there something in the creative act of shaping our pain into art that surely must be one of the most powerful ways that the living God companions us on our journey? The writer and philosopher Kurt Vonnegut once said that music is the only proof I need for the existence of God. There can be some pretty dark times on the journey of life, but thank God we can sing our songs.
John Prine's Angel from Montgomery. 2, 3,
I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child who's grown. If dreams were thunder and lightning was desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, well, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a free rampant man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, the years just flew by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an
Well, I would say that the companionship of God is no small thing. Knowing God promises to be with us no matter where the road takes us, that is a critical pillar of the Christian faith. But God has other promises up the divine sleeve too.
So our next song is called The Way. It's a very interesting song by a band called Fastball. On the surface, it's cool and kind of fun. The couple just throws their life away and takes off for something better. They just take off. They drive until the car breaks down, and then they get out and walk. The road is paved with gold. They're in a magical place where they will never go hungry and never grow old. They finally start to talk to each other. They now had more important things to say. They were perhaps in the same situation as the woman in Angel from Montgomery, but they chose a way out. Stan Roberts in the song Northwest Passage. By the way, that would have been a good road song to do tonight too, Northwest Passage. Anyway, Stan wrote the verse about he left a settled life and threw it all away to seek a Northwest Passage. And when he got there, what did he find? The road back home again. But this couple never came back home. They're described as happy on the highway. But there's a dark underbelly to this song because it is a sort of fancified version of a true story of an elderly couple in Texas with failing health who in 1997 just got into their car one morning and drove away. They were going to a music festival. Their children woke up and they couldn't find them. Now, fortunately, in reality, these children were adults, okay? So you can't tell that from the songs. You might be a bit disturbed by that lyric if you didn't know that. And I won't tell you how the real story turned out. But the songwriter from Fastball, Tony Scalzo, wanted to put a positive, happy, adventurous slant on it. An elderly couple who chose to just go off together on an adventure at the end of their lives. And when you realize that, you think of what, as Christians, we can expect after death, a place where we'll never get hungry, never get old and gray.
I would say that this is one of the real earworms of tonight, but by no means is this the only one. There is no evidence I know of that this song was written as a song of faith. However, I think it's fair to hear in this song exactly an articulation of the things that our faith is so good at naming and claiming. That our lives are fleeting and fragile, and we know it. And ultimately, our lives are part of a bigger story and an ending that we believe will actually be a new beginning, a next chapter, and a most beautiful expression of how God loves us, treasures us, and doesn't let the times we get lost or wander off course be the final story. Really encourage you to sing along to this one if you feel motivated to do so. This is The Way.
Pretty easy sing along. 1, 2, 3. Made up their minds and they started packing. Left before the sun came up that day and headed to It's always summer, they'll never get cold, never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray. You can see their shadows wandering off somewhere, won't make it home, but they really don't care. They wanted the highway, they're happier there today, today. Anyone can see the road that they walk on is paved with gold. It's always summer, they'll never get cold, they'll never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray. And you can see the shadows wandering off somewhere. They won't make it home, but they really don't care. They wanted the highway, they're happier there today, today. All right, our next song is One Headlight by the Wallflowers, Jacob Dylan's band. That's Jacob, the son of Bob, right? And like some of the other songs tonight, it starts out kind of sad. He's lost his only friend. She's died. That seems devastating. But is it true, or is it also a metaphor for something else? I wrote those words, and then I did a little digging, and I found out that what he was really writing about was the death of honesty, or the death of truth, which is kind of interesting. But it's personified by a friend who dies. And because the song goes on to offer encouragement. Nothing is forever. There's something better. We just have to try a little. Cinderella is referenced. We all know her story. We can get home, even if the car only has one working headlight. That's light enough to show us the way.
We were watching a movie the other night. It was filmed by Spike Lee, recording the live performance of David Byrne of Talking Heads and his American Utopia. Incredible film if you haven't seen it. It's a fascinating exploration of how music and art speaks into times of unrest and offers hope and courage in the face of challenging social realities. Early into the performance, David Byrne shares some research from scientists studying the human brain, who have been able to identify that a human baby has more neural connections in their brains than a human adult. David Byrne immediately states the most cynical read on this research, which is that we get dumber as we get older. Even if that cynical take isn't exactly true, it's certainly hard to argue with the facts that our potential and our capacities do eventually deteriorate over the course of a lifetime. The journey of life does take its pound of flesh. But then this is the other truth that David Byrne claims, that while some things might be lost, other things are gained. He wonders, what if those shedding of neural connections allows for a strengthening of the ones that are left? What if the journey isn't just about loss, but also about becoming? What if what is gained is the fullness of who we really are? He puts forward the idea that the honing, the developing, and the becoming is what happens over the course of that lifetime as we become the person that we are created to be. This song, One Headlight, is a song about the pain of living as broken people in a broken world. But like so many of our other songs, it's also about the promise of being able ultimately to come home and to find our way home and to be guided home. I can't help hearing David Byrne's reflection in conversation with this song that we're about to sing. I hear this idea that the brokenness and the loss, that forms us too. and in ways that are ultimately beautiful and life-giving. The one headlight can still shine true, and if we're really intentional about how we live with our heartbreak, that light that we still shine can even be a beacon to others. There are big, bold promises in our Christian faith. There are promises of heaven and eternal life, but there are also the small and quiet promises. The promise that one small life isn't just about what we have lost, but also about how we become found, and how our little light is enough to put something beautiful into the world, and something that might help others find their way home too. This is One Headlight.
So long ago, I don't remember when. That's when they say I lost my only friend. Well, they said she died easy of a broken heart disease as I listened through the cemetery trees. I see the sun coming up at the funeral at dawn, the long broken arm of human law. And now it always seemed such a waste. She always had a pretty face. I wonder why she hung around this place.
Hey, come on, try a little. Nothing is forever. It's got to be something better than in the middle. Me and Cinderella will put it all together and drive it home with one headlight.
She said it's cold, it feels like Independence Day, and I can't break away from this parade. But there's got to be an opening somewhere here in front of me through this maze of ugliness and greed. And I seen the sun up ahead at the county line bridge, saying all is good and nothing else is dead. We'll run until she's out of breath. She ran until there's nothing left. She hit the end, it's just her window ledge.
Hey, come on, try a little. Nothing is forever. It's got to be something better than in the middle. Me and Cinderella will put it all together, drive it home. One headlight.
This place is old, it feels just like a beat up truck. I turn the engine, but the engine doesn't turn. What smells of cheap wine and cigarettes? This place is always such a mess. Sometimes I think I'd like to watch it burn. I'm so alone, I feel just like someone else. Man, I ain't changed, but I know I ain't the same. But somewhere here in between the city walls of dying dreams, I think her death, it must be killing me.
Come on, try a little. Nothing is forever. It's got to be something better than in the middle. But me and Cinderella will put it all together. We can drive it home. One headlight.
you. Well, now we've turned the corner. Because in our next song, The River of Dreams, Billy Joel offers up a super positive, uplifting message. So for me, this song that we're about to do is the essence of tonight's Advent Cafe. It's a search for meaning in life. And Joel says that the song came to him in a dream, complete, even including the backing vocals. I go walking in the middle of the, I go walking in the, you're going to sing that with us tonight. He says he woke up and the song pretty much was written in his head already, and he said, I immediately rejected it. He said, I did not want to write a gospel song. But half an hour later, there he was in the shower singing to himself, I go walking in the middle of, it's like that old John Lee Hooker boogie song. It was in him, and it had to come out. The imagery of this song is amazing and carefully choreographed. Pay attention as we go through it and sing it. He's walking in his sleep and he comes to a river. But what's the journey like? In verse 1, he starts at the mountains of faith. In verse 2, he goes through the valley of fear. In verse 3, he goes through the jungle of doubt. And finally, he goes through the desert of truth. The desert of truth. Give that some thought. So I thought about that myself, that metaphor, and I don't see it as representing the absence of truth, but quite the opposite. And maybe you've been to a desert. Catherine and I have been to the Joshua Tree National Park in California. Yes, it's desolate, but it's extremely beautiful. And amid the rocks and the sand, there's really a lot of life if you look for it. So we go with Billy Joel to this place of seeming desolation, but if we look around, amid the rocks and the sand, there's really nothing except truth.
We have the doubt and the fear. We have the search, and it's all part of the journey of faith, and I would say of a life worth living. It's all part of how God equips us for those twists and turns, for the mountains and valleys, for the deserts, and for the road before us.
As soon as I get ready. And do that, we should be ready. That would have been a surprise. That sounds better. Okay.
The multifaceted Brian.
Yeah, there. All right, Jackson. 1, 2, 3, and...
to stand on the shore. I turn across to the opposite side so I can finally find what I've been looking for. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, to the valley of fear, to the river so deep. I must be searching for something, taken out of my soul, something I never lose, something somebody stole. I don't know why I go walking at night, but I'm tired and I don't want to walk anymore. I hope it doesn't take the rest of my life until I find that it is what I've been looking for. The middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, I through the jungle and down, to the river so deep. I know I'm searching for something so undefined. a spiritual man. Baptized by the fire, way into the road that I'm running through the promised land. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep. I through the days of the truth, yeah. I through the river so deep. We all into the ocean. We all start in the streets. We're all carried along by the river of dreams. In the middle of the night.
I go walking in the middle of the.
Let's see you clapping.
In the middle of the. I go walking 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 in the
Hey, you guys are awesome.
I've been waiting my whole life to sing that song.
Check the chord on that mic, Brad. It's kind of intermittent.
It
I don't
keeps
know what's
going, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for coming tonight. It's time now for me to introduce the members of this awesome band. I speak from the heart here. I've been playing guitar for 60 plus years, and I've worked in a lot of bands, and I've been with a lot of rhythm sections. These guys are next level. Woo! On keys and vocals, Brad Barnum. On bass, Brody Smith. Woo! On drums, Jackson Sheridan. And our incredible vocal line over the far side, Kat Curley. Martha Tatarnik. Lead vocalist, Ainsley Colburn. And my name's Brian Curley. Together we are Trackety Cross, and it's been our great pleasure to play for you tonight.
I hope that you will agree with me that we have gone on a journey tonight. We have named fear and despair. We have identified some dark valleys and rock bottoms. I think we've figured out some things that we need. Things like welcoming arms, an invitation to shine our light, the gift of telling our stories and singing our songs, the gift of telling our stories and singing our songs together, the promise of healing, the gift of new life. These are all things that we need in order to keep finding our way forward through those twists and turns on the road. We've come to our big, bright expressions of hope. And all of us here, I can say, want you to leave tonight not just with hope, but also with songs that will be stuck in your head for weeks to come. Welcome to our lives. We've definitely gone somewhere in this past hour. But we have also come full circle. Actually, just before we started, Chuck was saying to me, is life a journey or is it a circle? We end in a different place than we started, but also we've come back in a funny way. It's interesting that so many of the songs about the road, the journey, the highway are ultimately about coming home. Remember at the beginning of tonight, Brian said that there is something magical about how Advent Cafe comes together, that as soon as he mentioned that song, Laid a Highway by Tift Merritt, I suggested the Life is a Highway theme.
So we're at the end of the show, but by no means the end of the road. In fact, we've backtracked from the end of the road. So I noted at the beginning of our night that Laid a Highway was essentially the same story as told in the Pixar classic cars. And guess what? You know that the theme song for that movie was, of course, Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane. So we've moved from the desperation of the first few songs to a celebration. We're all in this together. Sometimes things go well, sometimes not so well. Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits said, sometimes you're the window, sometimes you're the bug. Tom Cochrane says, sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. You all know it. The payoff of this song is in the first verse. There's a world outside this darkened door where the blues won't hurt you anymore. Where the brave are free and lovers soar, come ride with me to that distant shore. So now make sure you sing along with us. Life is a highway, and we're going to ride it all night long, or at least for the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But if you guys are into it, we can go longer.
All night long.
All right, kick it off. 1, 2. Travel on, where there's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where the blues won't haunt you anymore. We're brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway. Cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I love you now like I loved you then. These are the road and these are the hands. From Mozambique to those Memphis nights, Kaiba Pass to Vancouver's lights. Knock me down, get back up again. You're in my blood, I'm not a lonely man. And no, Lord, I can't hold. Roads are rough, and this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell them we're survivors. Life is a highway. Misunderstanding once, but now we're looking in the eye. Whoa! Ain't no load I can't hold. Roads are rough, and the sun, I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell them we're so Thank you very much, and good night and safe home.
Great dancing, ladies. I was watching you.
I was about to say. I know. I wish we got that on camera as well. We should have swiveled the camera around to catch you dancing back there. Well, after all that excitement, we do like to end with a word of peace. So may God's peace be with you, and may you take all of this joy out into the world.
Also with you.